ARK Invest started buying the stock right here that's up 18% on the day at the time of the screenshot, and the stock has been swept under the rug because of all the EV hype we've seen recently. So no, this is not another EV stock. However, it is a SPAC, and there are some really big name investors backing this company. So you want to stick around for this video because this could be a multi-bagger opportunity. So in this video, let's discuss first off what this stock is and what do they do. Secondly, we're going to discuss ARK Invest, how much of the stock did they recently buy. Thirdly, I want to talk about some billionaires that are actually invested in this stock. It may surprise you. And then finally, do I plan to buy the stock? And if so, at what price? So guys, let's do this. Smash that like button down below. Help out the channel for the YouTube AI. And if you're looking for your next potential 10x stock, this could be it. So you want to pay attention all the way through. So first off, what is the stock and what do they do? Longview Acquisition, ticker symbol LGVW, is the stock we're talking about today, which is, yes, yet another SPAC. And this stock has been relatively quiet up until a couple of days ago, and that's because they found their recent merge target. Butterfly is the company they'll be merging with, and this is a company in the medical imaging space that's looking to disrupt ultrasound imaging. Their main flagship product is the Butterfly IQ, and this is a portable handheld device that can be used for ultrasound imaging, and it has a proprietary semiconductor chip that allows them to do whole body complete imaging with a single probe. So in a nutshell, what this company has done is they've gone out there into the medical space and they've seen that the imaging is just so outdated. You have these big bulky machines, it doesn't integrate well with new software. Yeah, they work, but at what cost? They're expensive machines. So Butterfly is like, hey, we can make something better than this. We can make something that's, much more portable, much more versatile, much more affordable, integrates with all the latest software, cloud, all that fun stuff. We can do it better. And it's interesting because I've been thinking about this for a little while, well before I came across Butterfly. It's like, well, why don't we have an option to kind of scan ourselves at home if we wanted to? I know they recommend, going for a physical once a year typically, and the doctor hopefully doesn't find anything, but they may, and then there's more treatment and all that stuff. But instead of that, why can't consumers like myself be more proactive with our health? Why don't I have the ability to go scan myself, see if there's anything wrong, and if I find something suspicious, then go into the doctor and try to figure out a solution? I think when it comes to health, when it comes to medical, it's better to be proactive as opposed to reactive, because if you catch these diseases early enough, you actually have a much higher chance of combating and defeating it. One of the things I like to do with some of my investments is invest in businesses that are trying to change the world for the better. And I think Butterfly is trying to do that here by enabling consumers, average people like myself, to be able to go in, purchase a handheld device, connect it up to my phone, and have that peace of mind to make sure on a consistent basis that I'm healthy and there's nothing to be concerned about. So Butterfly's like, hey, this doesn't need to be complicated, guys. This is what we're proposing. We have a handheld device that anyone can purchase. You can get trained on this, not a problem. Integrates with your smartphone and the cloud, like I said. And really, in a nutshell, this is just a natural progression from medical imaging with those big, massive devices that hospitals have. But now, let's step back for a second. The device is still kind of expensive today. I believe it's a couple $1,000s, and the subscription plan and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's gonna take time for this to become, under $1,000 so that almost everyone can afford one of these. But this company is on the right track. They're trying to bring down prices. They're trying to keep the consumer in mind, and they're actually trying to make a difference out there in the world, which is what I appreciate. But this also kind of appeals to your local clinics, like your walk-in doctors and such, because they don't have to have this big expensive machine anymore. They can buy a few of these portable handheld devices, and if there's a patient that needs to be scanned, they can do it. I think that's very powerful. I think that's very liberating for these smaller clinics and doctor offices and that kind of stuff. And I think the market here for this is actually pretty big, and a lot of investors may not be realizing that yet. But anyways, there's a lot more I can go into with the company specifically, their growth, with everything to do with the business and where I see them headed. But I'll save that for another video if you guys want to see that. Get this video to maybe 1,500 likes, something like that, and we can make that happen. But I don't want to bore you with the details details in this video. We're going to be talking specifically about the stock and potentially profiting off of it. So let's move on. So now that I got you excited about the potential for this company, let's talk about how much ARK Invest recently bought. So according to trade alerts that I get, ARK bought a bunch of this stock, probably around that $14 level or so, which equates to around $6 to $6.5 million worth that they've put into this SPAC. Now you may be wondering, why did they buy this Longview company and not Butterfly? I'm getting confused. Let me clear it up. Longview is the SPAC, and once the company merges with Butterfly, anyone holding Longview stock will automatically hold the new Butterfly stock. That's just how SPACs work. We've seen that happen with many before, and if everything goes well, the merger doesn't get blocked or anything like that, that's kind of the natural progression. Now I think that this may actually be just the first tranche that ARK buys of this company. We know that they're really heavy in this space. They like medical stocks that are innovative, disruptive, and I think this company fits in really nicely with that. So they added this SPAC to their ARK G fund, and the future merger company Butterfly fits perfectly in this domain, guys. If you look at it, this is pretty much made for this growth fund. So in my opinion, I think we can get ready for some pretty significant buying here from ARK over the coming months and weeks, because this just looks right up their alley. But guys, the exciting part is ARK isn't the only one that's bought this stock. Other billionaires are investing in this stock as well, so who are they? Well, the company says that Baillie Gifford, the popular firm who was spot on with their Tesla investment, and they made a fortune from that, and also the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Bill Gates, both are investors in this company. You also have firms like Fidelity backing this company as well. So what this tells me is that big money is standing right behind this company. They're supporting this business, they're backing this company, and they're not afraid to have their name associated with this company. That speaks volumes, and that speaks the amount of confidence that Bill Gates, for example, has, because to have his name up against a company that's so small, many people may think he's losing credibility here, but in reality, he's showing how confident he is with this business and what they're doing and how they're trying to change the world, and that, I think, means quite a bit from an investment perspective. I think to see these big names back this business here while it's still so small and still so young gives me confidence to potentially put some money into the stock as well. Now, I'm going to be clear, it's not going to be a sole reason. I'm not going to invest in this just because Bill Gates is in it or just because ARK is buying it. That's just foolish. You should never buy anything blindly because someone else is. However, it's just an added factor to add onto the pros list for this company. It's like, oh, you're looking at different things, pros and cons. Hey, oh, Bill Gates owns this. Oh, Baillie Gifford. Oh, ARK Invest. Oh, some big names own this stock. I think that holds some value, and I would definitely have that as part of a weight when I'm weighing this decision to add this stock to my portfolio. I think the real reason that these big name investors are investing in this company is not just because they have a portable device, because a lot of other companies have that too that are competing, but it's because of their proprietary semiconductor technology, and I think that is what's going to separate this company apart from its competition and have it miles ahead when they start scaling. So with all that said, do I plan to buy this stock, and if so, at what price? Okay, so this is the important part. This is the part you've probably been waiting for, so don't skip through, because if you do, you're gonna mess up your calculations, you're gonna mess up the valuation, and I want you guys to actually understand where I'm coming from here. So here's the pro forma breakdown, and if you're investing in any SPAC, doesn't matter which one, you should be familiar with this. Firstly, notice that they have PIPE investors and they have a trust. So this, along with rollover equity from Butterfly, gives the company a value of $1.88 billion. Next, on the right, once a transaction completes, Butterfly will have $549 million of cash sitting on their balance sheet, which is extremely strong. But now here's what you need to pay attention to very closely. The total number of outstanding shares is 203.7 million, and once the merger closes, investors holding the Longview ticker symbol will automatically get their shares converted to the BFly Butterfly ticker symbol, but that'll only account for 20% of the value of the whole merged company. So that may be confusing, and that's fine. You don't really need to know the specifics there, but what you should understand is that that information can actually help us calculate what the future market cap is going to be of this company once the merger goes through. All we do is we take that outstanding share of $203.7 million, we divide it by 20%, and that will give us a market cap of around $1.1 billion. So $1.1 billion market cap, that definitely caught my attention. Remember, they have about $500 million in cash. $1.1 billion for the whole company seems like you're paying only $500 million for this business, what they've done, the R&D, the technology, the patents, you know, the future outlook. That seems pretty attractive to me. Now on the pro forma here, you can also see they've given us a 2022 estimate revenue of 137.9 million, and this is a projection 2 years out. But what we can do with this projection, keep in mind it is 2 years out, we can calculate the price to sales for 2022 for this company. And by using some simple math, we come up with a price to sales of 8x. And 8x for a company that's this small and still growing and has a massive potential, big name investors, is disrupting a huge space, I think that's cheap. Also keep in mind, remember, we said they have about $500 million in cash, so they can put a lot of money into marketing, advertising, that stuff, really grow this business massively and smash those estimates, which would make that price of sales even lower. So an 8x price of sales, attractive for this business. So I'll say this, if the stock today was at a $1.1 billion market cap, I probably would have already bought it and had it in my portfolio. But that's not the reality of the situation. So let's talk about that. As of today, the market cap for LGVW is $825.438 million. And at first glance, you're probably saying, oh, this is lower than the 1.1 billion you wanted, so it's a buy. But guys, remember, you gotta use that pro forma as only 20% of what the future value is. So you take today's market cap, divide it by 20%, and that actually gives us a new market cap of over $4 billion that you're paying for the business here today. That $4 billion equates to a forward price of sales in 2022 of 30x. 30x, that's a little expensive. And if you're kind of confused here and didn't really follow along, here's a visual to give you a better understanding of what I'm discussing. And you can see that on the left-hand side, that's what the company initially was valued at, $1.1 billion valuation, 8x price of sales. But now on the right-hand side, you can see what it's valued at today, a $4 billion valuation and a 30x price to sales. So full transparency, I can't say that I'm as excited to buy this company at a $4 billion market cap at a 30x price of sales, because it looks to me like a lot of the optimism now is priced into this stock. It's essentially gone up 4x in the last, 4 or 5 trading days. That seems like a little bit too rich for my blood. But don't get me wrong, guys, I really like what the company is doing. I actually do want to support a business like this because I think they're trying to change the world for the better. It's gonna help, poorer countries, third world countries, hospitals in countries that can't really afford these massive, expensive equipments, but you still want good healthcare for those people. So I think this business is doing a lot of good. That's probably what Bill Gates sees in this as well. So we can expand it to those less developed countries. But guys, at the end of the day, it's an investment and it needs to make sense to me to put my cash into and have it grow over time. Now, I think this business will be successful. I think this business will actually grow quite massively over the long term. However, the share price, that's a different story altogether. It seems like investors have pulled many years forward into this optimism here, and who knows? Maybe the stock just keeps running up here up until the merger is completed, and then we may see some selling. But fundamentals do matter to me, and it just isn't a company I can put my money into right now at these valuations. That being said, I am completely open to purchasing the stock at the right price. Now, those in my VIP group already know that I was very close to purchasing it this morning until I did a bit more digging, and then I figured, okay, you know what, I'm gonna hold off for a bit. So if you do want to know when I do purchase this stock, if I do purchase this stock, consider joining our VIP group, link in description down below. And we have a Discord chat there, and I let you guys know before I make any moves in the market, what I'm thinking, and just my general thoughts as well. But anyways, guys, I hope this video was informative. And like I said, if you want to see a dedicated video on Butterfly, what the company does, their revenue, their growth, just looking at the company fundamentals there and the outlook, get this video to 1,500 likes and I will make that happen. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to invest positively, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.